What's up, guys? It's your girl Liz, and today we're here with a Netflix chit chat. Get ready with me. So I'm not really going to go over the products that I'm using today. I will be chit-chatting about a topic that I've been wanting to share with you guys for a while, and I used to do quick updates on my Rolling with the Homies vlogs that have not been over officially but have been paused since I believe like April. I used to give Netflix updates on there, and I just wanted to kind of go through some shows that are my favorite and see what you guys like watching as well, and maybe get some good insight on what to watch next. First, I have a list of everything that is on my list on Netflix. Some are, series that are still continuing, Netflix series. Some are, TV originals that I've been binging and will like forever re-binge. But let's just start going through them. So first we have Santa Clarita Diet, which is a Netflix original starring Drew Barrymore, and I always forget the husband's name. I love that show. It is so funny. It is so original. It is about a woman that had a bad meal from like an Italian place, had bad old clams, and she became a zombie, and she has to eat people to stay alive. And her husband are realtors, and it's just really funny to go through their daily life trying to keep this secret, trying to figure out how to cure her, finding out other people in the community that also ate these bad clams and have gotten sick. It's a good show. Next on my list I have Friends, which, I always will rewatch Friends. Grey's Anatomy, which is still continuing and I believe is about to start season 13. If not 14, and I rewatch that every once in a while when I'm bored, although I do keep up with it. Shameless, I have rewatched 3 times. I think I watched it when it was on the air in the beginning of it, and then I rewatched it myself, and then I rewatched it with my husband, and we've been continuing watching it as well as it comes out on Netflix, although I do not keep up with it on Showtime as it airs normally, so I am a season behind on a lot of these shows. Let's see, we have Orange is the New Black, because duh, who doesn't watch Orange is the New Black? Can't wait for that new season to come out. Criminal Minds, I've rewatched like twice, I think, and I'm caught all the way up until the new season hits Netflix. We have Skin Wars, which I don't believe has any more episodes coming to Netflix, but I really enjoyed that one because, I love makeup, I do hair, I love the arts, and that's just, an all-around really cool show. We have Girl Boss, which is a very cute show. It's like a rom-com. It's about this girl that's very sarcastic, very independent, and she is, she's poor, she's struggling, she's trying to sell clothes online, she's trying to make a business out of it. I think it all started with she needed like a hernia surgery or something and was too broke for it. So definitely would recommend that one. Law and Order, duh, we can always rewatch Law and Order. Pretty Little Liars, I am so upset that show is done and over with, but I have still kept it on my list and I have rewatched it. Not only did I watch it when it was out on TV on ABC in the first place back when I was in high school, then I rewatched it all when I got my Netflix account, and then I've rewatched it all again because I wanted to recap myself before I watched the last season. It definitely got a little too far-fetched for me, but I still enjoyed it, and it was one of those like high school shows that you just couldn't wait for the next bit of drama to come up with. Like Secret Life of the American Teenager, I watched that on TV when I was in high school, and that one was just drama on drama on drama, but still it makes you want to watch it. What do we have next? Walking Dead. So The Walking Dead, unpopular opinion, I actually watched it up until Negan came to the show. It just became too far-fetched for me after they found that little safe town, and then like the mayor of it was getting all uppity, and then they broke free, and then they were hiding out in the jail, and the other community was trying to find them with their big military tankers and stuff, and I just got I just got uninterested in it. Moving right along, Series of Unfortunate Events, which is a Netflix original based on Lemony Snicket, which I've watched a couple of episodes of that, but I haven't really continued on. Still on my list to go back and watch when, you know, I feel like it. Then we have Making a Murderer, which was very popular when it first came out. It was about a guy that was falsely accused of a murder and got out like 18 years later. That was very good to watch. And then I have Blue Planet and Planet Earth. I really love environmental docu-series. I watched Planet Earth and Blue Planet in like, well, it wasn't 4K then, but like HD on the television when it came out a couple of years ago. I remember it would come on like, it might have been like Friday or like Sunday nights, and like me and my mom and my dad and my brother used to legit like sit in the living room after dinner with some popcorn, lights out, watching the HD. Oh, some of my bronzer just crumbled out. Using my little Tarte sample still, because once I got the palette, I stopped using my sample. But it was just like such good footage, such good education. I love learning about the environment and seeing, you know, the deep blue and the mountain highs and the forest tops and stuff like that. Love it. Always appreciate the earth that you live on. Got Food Choices, In Defense of Food, and Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, and Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead 2. Those ones are things about inside the food industry, how the animals are raised, how the food is processed, and stuff like that. And then there was another one. I don't remember which one it was on here. I'm trying to look. About the different, like, cartels that come along with, like, different foods. Like the honey industry, people would, like, go to a like honey farm and like kill colonies and colonies of bees just so that this, you know, farmer would make less honey or like ruin the crop from this farmer. There was also like rice crops in like Asia that like a random plane would come over and like put like a chemical on the whole crop and kill it all and kill all the wildlife and everything that was around that whole ecosystem just so that they could profit off of their cornfields and their rice fields and their soybean fields over another farmer. That was really cool. I don't know what that one was called. iZombie, I have watched that show twice and I think that's really cute. That's also like a cutesy kind of family show about the whole zombie thing. Those were both recommended to me. Santa Clarita Diet and iZombie were recommended to me after binging The Walking Dead, but it's definitely a little less actiony and like gory. iZombie is definitely from a more scientific point because she works in a coroner's office and that's how she acquires the brains that she eats already from dead people, and then she helps solve the crimes of the dead people that she coronates. Love it. The complete works of Bob Ross will always be on my list. I will always randomly want to hear that wonderful man's voice and hear about a little rock here and a little splash of the tree here. And I'm just going to put a little house here because wouldn't you love to live here? Love that man. I love crime-solving shows. Along with crime-solving shows, I also have Forensic Files, which I will forever rewatch and rewatch and rewatch. And then we also have Inside the Mind of a Serial Killer, which was a really, really good show. Waiting on the next season to come out. I believe it's coming out the winter time because I remember watching it while I was putting up my Christmas tree. What else do we have? I'm trying to pick up my makeup brushes. Haters Back Off. A shout out to Colleen Ballinger. Definitely love her. And I am really upset that they didn't continue on for further seasons with her. But it is what it is. Things happen. And I think she did announce that she's having another show on Netflix come out. Even though it's not the same show, she's still producing that one. I'm not sure if she's starring in it. But so shout out to her and her unborn baby boy. Lovesick is a really, really good one if you like kind of like romantic comedies. It's like all about this really sarcastic girl that's kind of, you know, a wreck in life, and this guy that is, you know, just really insecure and doesn't have a lot of self-esteem or confidence, and he just kind of falls into this girl's like web and is just kind of stuck and like in love with her. They do break up in the show, spoiler alert, but I think they do get back together. I kind of forget. Waiting for the next season of that one to come out. What else do we have here? Good Neighbor. I haven't started that, but that's supposed to be a really good one. Both of the Lizzie Borden movies are really good. I always thought that that story was so funny, like, even though it's about her murdering her parents. My mom used to like randomly hum that rhyme when I was growing up and stuff, so like I knew the reference, and I knew the story, but you know, I was very interested to watch that little movie there. So Lizzie Borden, definitely a good watch. Walt Before Disney was a really good movie. I randomly remember that right now because I watched it the same day that I watched one of the Lizzie Borden movies, and I don't usually stay wide awake for like an entire movie, but I watched both of those full through, so whoop. So you know those ones are good. Boss Baby, the movie, and the Netflix original series are both so adorable. Alice in Wonderland, the new version of Alice in Wonderland, I actually did not like. Wouldn't recommend. Partners in Crime, that was a really good show. The Office is a show that I will always forever rewatch, and I'm sure a lot of you guys will agree with me on that one. What the Health, that was another one that goes along with the Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, about the big pharma industry and how they're kind of working with the food industry to keep the food, keeping us sick, and keeping the medications, keeping the sickness just at bay and not fully curing it, so that it's a constant money scheme on our lives. Anthony Bourdain is a series that everybody should forever watch. Rest in peace, Anthony Bourdain. He was an amazing food critic, a very worldly man, one of the best traveling shows that I love watching. Had a very good, open-minded, worldly perspective, and rest in peace again, like I said. Let me see, Ozark. I think the second season just dropped of Ozark, and everybody has been loving it. Me and hubby are actually rewatching the first season right now, kind of just fast forwarding and skimming through as a recap before we start the second season. Almost starting that soon. We've been watching it just kind of with dinner. Master of None, that was Aziz Ansari's show, and I really enjoyed that one. That one was so funny. Definitely one with the ups and downs of life, the ins and outs of intercultural relationships, which, as you know, I am involved in an international marriage because my husband is from Pakistan and I am American, obviously. I definitely thought the perspective was funny of, you know, the Indian guy trying to be with the women of the different races and stuff, and how it went about for him. Gilmore Girls, the show and the Netflix original 4-part series, would definitely rewatch, would definitely recommend. Gilmore Girls was always one of my favorite shows to watch after school every day doing my homework. Rory Gilmore always encouraged me to get my homework finished and not get distracted by watching TV. Fuller House. I really liked the first season of Fuller House. There might have been 3 seasons on there already, but I remember not really paying much attention to the last bit of it that I watched and just kind of letting it play in the background as I was cleaning the house, because it just kind of got a little too gimmicky and stuff for me. That's another show that I really grew up on, like kind of watching on ABC after school every day, but it just didn't like tickle my fancy as much as I really wished that it could. But I will continue to watch just to see Uncle Jesse as many times as I can. Jane the Virgin. I have watched that show quite a few different times. Dear White People is a series that I'm actually watching right now. I think it's just a 2-part series. I don't know if they plan on continuing it. I know that it came with lots and lots of controversy, but those topics really need to be brought up and talked about in mainstream media as well as the regular entertainment. We can't just be sitting back watching these, feel-good shows and forget about what's really happening in the world and in this country today with the racially biased and bigoted people out there. Sense8 is another one that I really have been enjoying, but it's a show that you really have to watch. You have to be focused because it's about these 8 people that are combined with their senses, I just poked myself in the eyeball. As long as I didn't get mascara on my face, my eyeball will heal. So it's the one guy's getting jumped in Africa, and then the Asian lady is at her little jujitsu training or whatever, and all of a sudden he is using her powers to fight off these goons, and she's controlling his body with her skill and whatever else. And then there was another guy that was he was running on his morning jog, and he was listening to music, and then all of a sudden he hears this girl in Norway who's a DJ, and he hears her DJ music through his headphones, and he's what's happening? That's not what I'm watching, or that's not what I'm listening to. So you really have to be focused and pay attention to that show to really realize what's going on throughout it and who's using what sense. And then they're talking about how they're all connected and helping each other through all their life issues and all this other stuff. Let me see if I had any other recommendations. I know I had a list here on my phone. I already said Gilmore Girls and the series, or the Netflix series. Grey's Anatomy, Orange is the New Black, Making a Murderer, Bob's Burgers. Always got to watch some Bob's Burgers. Who doesn't love Bob's Burgers? Family Guy, Shameless, Degrassi. Degrassi is not on Netflix, and it really should be. Degrassi, the 3rd generation or whatever. If you are a true Degrassi fan, you watch Degrassi The Next Generation from 2004 until 2000 and I don't even know, 10. And then while that was on the air, they re-showed one from the 90s that they had of all of the parents of the show, and that was just regular Degrassi. And then they had a 3rd generation one, which I didn't really watch that one. That's the one that's on Netflix. But Degrassi The Next Generation should definitely be on Netflix. Let's get that word to Netflix right away. Bones. Bones was one of my favorites, and I don't think I have it on my list. I'm gonna have to put it back on there so I can rewatch it. Really enjoyed that show and how bland and she didn't mean to be sarcastic. She was really just being very tactless, but it was quite funny. Let's see, that 70s show, always rewatch that. Private Practice, that was a spin-off series from Grey's Anatomy. Addison's private practice. It was a gynecological practice and OBG and all that other stuff after the divorce. And then, Dr. Gray, Dr. Dreamy, his sister Amelia was also a part of that. And it shows a little bit of backstory from her drug addiction and her loss of her child. And then when she went back to Grey's Anatomy after the loss of that child and getting over her addiction and then becoming a neurosurgeon again there. So that was definitely some really good backstory, very good writing. I don't know if it's by the same writers and producers, but it's very good. Going in with my favorite lip color today. This has been my go-to lip all summer. This is the NYX Liquid Suede Life's a Beach. This was the second look that I did in my Lippy Volt series. Which, shameless plug, I actually just posted the 3rd one of that series on my channel before this one. Oh, look. I'm messing it up. So go catch up on those 3 and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out the rest of that series. I love this lip. It's just such a cute summery lip. It was Life's a Beach if I didn't say that. But let's finish up with some of my favorite shows. We'll go to Santa Clarita Diet, already talked about that. 13 Reasons Why. I gotta watch it just because I have to, but that's another show where like I really don't like watching shows that have like that emotional impact on you and that like anxiety and that like suspense, especially like it's just so hard to know that like people really do go through things like that. And it really is ignored enough in, you know, real life that they have to make a show about it to get the word out and get the controversy to be talked about. But definitely a heart-wrenching series that I think everybody should watch. So, alrighty guys, my hair is down. The rest of my little outfit is on. My little butterfly scarf with this lip I thought was cute. Going to do, I don't like talking when I do my setting spray. Going to do a little more setting spray and fan it out while I do my little outro here. I appreciate you guys watching. I know some of my videos are very long-winded. Scratch that, I know all of my videos are very long-winded. I really appreciate everybody that keeps coming back and watching my videos. Please don't forget to give this video a like if you love Netflix like the rest of us, and comment down below any videos or movies or series or documentaries that you would recommend for me to watch. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel while you're here. I love each and every one of you guys, and I'll catch you on the flip.